Hello there, this is the Rangers News YouTube account. It's Jordan Carlisle here alongside James Black.
Hello.
And following on from the sort of fallout of the League Cup final, we're just going to ask, does the skipper, James Tavernier, have any blame? Does any blame lie with him after that cup final defeat?
No, not at all. And some of the criticism he's been getting online's just been ridiculous. Mostly around this penalty and the decision to let Morelos take it, which, according to Steven Gerrard, was decided well in advance of kick-off yesterday. But what would he know?
Yeah, I know. It's a it's a constant source of frustration for me. I think Tav's had his struggles this season.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt about that. He went through a really, really poor stretch where several mistakes, Hearts and young boys and that sort of stuff actively contributed to us dropping points.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. There's you can't hide away from the fact there's been points this season where Tav has been poor. Absolutely have to accept the fact that the young boys game, he sold the jerseys a bit. Hearts, he really didn't cover himself in glory, but at Hampden on Sunday, if anybody can point me to anything that he done wrong, then I'd love to see it. Love to see it.
No, I thought he was excellent, and I thought he looked really up for it. Really embodied what the team sort of put across. As usual, he drove down the right hand side, set that pace early on, was prepared to get up there, put decent balls into the box. First couple of corners, found a Rangers head. Goldson missed a decent chance. Hollander missed a decent chance. A few decent balls from open play. I think there was one where Johnny Hayes knocked it past him near the end of the first half, tracked him back the whole way, bullied him, bumped him off, was like, that's mine, I'll take it. And I thought he wasn't called upon much defensively because Celtic didn't do anything in attack, but what he did do was tidy, and what he did going up the other end was excellent. I don't think he could have done any more. And while we're discussing on the penalty note, I think it's ridiculous. Some of the stuff is amazing. I think that's being sent towards him. So there's the first sort of primary one that like he's the captain, so he should take a penalty, which is ludicrous because just because you wear the armband doesn't mean you take the penalties.
See if
it's not part of
guys
the rule.
Just kind of on the captain bit as well. There's a lot of stuff kind of he can't motivate and drive on teammates. See if guys like Stephen Davis, who admittedly didn't play on Sunday, but like you've got the Aberdeen game before that and a few other games this season. You've got guys like Scotty Arfield or Alan McGregor or Jermaine Defoe. See if they need some guy to have a wee strippy fabric on their arm with a big C in it to make them do their job properly. Then they're at the wrong club and they're in the wrong job. And like the Tavernier taking a penalty because he can't. Why? Why should he be doing anything because he's a captain? You do what's best for the team. So if the manager's decided that he's going to have Morelos take the penalties or Borna Barisic take penalties or even Alan McGregor take penalties, then that's it, the decision's made.
It's not. It's one of those things where imagine the fallout if that had been decided beforehand and then Tav is like, no, I'm the skipper, I'm going to take it, and then he sticks it over the bar. It would be mental. So I think the thing here is that I also think wasn't picked up on, and it's a bit of a weird. It's been quite some time since Rangers have had a penalty, which has made this a lot worse. So basically, Tav missed against Motherwell at the end of October, and they said after that game, Gerrard said he'd have a word with him and they'd discuss who was on them in the future because that's 3 he'd missed this season. Basically, they went away from that. Then before the semi-final against Hearts in a press conference, Tav said he was comfortable taking them. He would always back himself. So the idea of him bottling it goes out the window there. He's publicly said that he wants to take them, but that decision would be made behind closed doors. That's what he inferred, and that the next time he wouldn't say who would take it, but he said the next time we get a penalty, you'll find out who's on them. So if that penalty had come in the first week in November or on Sunday, Alfredo Morelos would have taken it if he was on the pitch. So I think what needs to really come from it is it's amazing, I think, that someone who didn't take a penalty is criticised for us not scoring. Because realistically, it's you're 12 yards out, there's huge pressure, and it's a cup final. But the reason we missed the penalty was because Alfredo Morelos hit at the same side as
They didn't have a particularly good penalty.
It's nothing else to it. What did you think of it? Did you think
the penalty was garbage?
Yeah.
Absolutely, it was terrible. But if I'm being totally honest, Morelos maybe wouldn't have been my choice. I'd have probably had Barisic. And you look at the way that he strikes the ball. He's the cleanest striker of the ball at the club. You look at his set pieces, his crosses, his passing. He's just got a real clean strike.
That's interesting.
Whereas Morelos is quite a kind of lash at it and just make contact and see where it goes, and he's not quite as composed. Barisic would have been probably the obvious choice for me at least. Whether he'd have scored or not, God knows.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I suppose in hindsight, you might say before the game when they're making the decision to say this guy's got, maybe at that point close to 20 goals for the season, and he's in red hot form, and why would you not give the penalties to him? Because everything he touches goes in, and it's been the same up until the final game. He got 2 chances in the whole game, and he scored them both, 2 cracking headers. But the problem then against Celtic was that I think had the penalty come 10 minutes in, we maybe would have seen a different outcome. But he had already had it. The frustration was up, his tail was up. We were losing, and he had already missed 10.
See, I'm not so sure.
6, 7 chances.
I'm not so sure that the earlier chances had as big an influence, simply because if you look at his chances he had after it, they became a lot wilder. So his shots kind of, particularly in the first half, he was forcing some really, really good saves at Fraser Forster. And the keeper was more responsible for Morelos not scoring than Morelos being off.
Yeah.
After the penalty, there was 3 or 4 where some dude with a pie's probably not got a pie anymore, and they kind of became a bit wild and a bit lashed, and just you could see it was somebody that was starting to get visibly frustrated. So I think probably the penalty had more effect on his form throughout the game than his form throughout the game did on the actual penalty.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment. I think then, so to summarise, again, a really disappointing day, but I think those who are maybe saying that the result has some sort of bearing on whether Tav should be captain or the penalty was his fault, I think we'll both go on record that we think it's wrong.
Yeah, it's absolutely wrong. And the silliest thing about some of the criticism is the same people who are criticising Tavernier for being a bottle merchant for not taking that penalty are the same folk who 3 or 4 weeks ago were saying Tavernier should be on penalties, Morelos should.
Yeah, because he's missed 3.
What do they want?
Yeah, so just maybe some perspective. I thought he was excellent, but hopefully, as time goes on, I think Jared will stick by him, and hopefully,
absolutely will. Absolutely will.
And hopefully, we'll see him lift something by the end of the season.